We are entering a time where there will soon be a massive crop of young, hard men. We've had soft men. I believe that the hard men are coming. Many of them will be young. These young, hard men will not follow titles. I believe that they will care very little for credentials and letters after names. They will not follow titles. They will only follow courage. But in their zeal, being young, in their zeal, they pose a threat of destroying all that is good in the world along with the evil. In their quest to vanquish the evil of the land, they pose the threat of being overly zealous and destroying the good along with it. So the key, I believe, the key is for the strength of these young, hard men to be harnessed by even harder men, but who possess softer hearts. The solution, right? The solution to, there are hard men tyrants, totalitarian, authoritarian tyrants. You study history, you've got that type. They're bad. And then you've got weak tyrants, soft tyrants. They're also really bad. Right? A hard authoritarian type of totalitarian tyrant, that guy could rack up millions of deaths. And then you've got soft totalitarian men who can hit 100 million. The solution, what I'm saying is the solution to an authoritarian spirit is not DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. The solution to bad hard men is not bad soft men. The solution to evil hard men is good hard men. We want men who are even stronger, even harder. Hard men with soft hearts. The solution to both kinds of tyrants, both kinds of evil men, evil hard men, evil soft men. The solution for an evil hard man or an evil soft man is a good man. A good man. That's the solution. Good men. And good men are not weak. And part of the problem is that, again, within evangelicalism, as we talk about things like gender, we talk about biblical manhood and biblical womanhood, we have completely severed biblical masculinity from anything that would even come close to resembling physical strength. How many books have been written over the past few decades about biblical masculinity? Has nothing, you can be biblically masculine and you're in every way fulfilling God's commands for men, and you also have to ask your wife for help to open the pickle jar. As though these things are completely separate. They're not. They're not. I have come to learn as a 37-year-old man where a lot of my professional career has been inside work, labor, intellectual labor, reading books. And I've come to realize that there's a deficiency there. And it does correlate to the goodness and the well-being, the health of my soul. It's not just exterior. That's a Gnostic idea. The physical is completely separate from the soul. Now, there is a connection. There's a correlation with men who work in the dirt, being good men. There is something to be said for hard physical labor that shapes character, not just physical muscles, not just biceps, but it shapes character, virtue. And there's a sense in which virtue can be lost and squandered and underdeveloped with weak, and I mean physically weak, soft men. What we've done over the past few decades is completely sever biblical masculinity from anything that any of our predecessors would have thought of when they thought of masculinity. We've said that masculinity has nothing to do with working with your hands. It has nothing to do with hunting. It has nothing to do with being able to change a tire. It has nothing to do, and these are things that I've been, as I'm getting older, as I now have a son who's a year old, I'm thinking, and there's certain ways I may be able to include him in my work as a pastor, but a lot of ways that he won't be able to. And I've been thinking, well, I might need to carve out a little bit of time to start a business, not even to be that profitable or to be a millionaire, but just to do something with my hands a few hours a week that I can include my son in when he gets older. So it's not just dad's going to go to work and read books, and my hand cramps as I turn one of the pages because I become, it's good for dad and it's good for him to get outside, do something. The solution for evil hard men is good men. The solution for evil soft men is good men. But what we've done as a society is we've said, hey, we had some hard men, totalitarian, authoritarian, terrible men. And so we'll solve it by being soft. And when I say soft, think inclusion. And one of the things that we've done in the spirit of inclusion is we've said we will not tolerate dogmatism. Anybody who says some kind of dogmatic statement that this is true, it's undeniably true. It's true whether I was ever born or not. Mark that man. He's a dangerous man. Anybody who believes in universal truth, transcendent truth, immutable standards, and that would say it publicly and say it with conviction, mark that man. He's a dangerous man. We've seen men like that before. No, you haven't. Now, the men that you saw like that before, they were hard men, sure. But they weren't good men. They were hard men on the outside, but they also had hardened hearts. Now, the solution to evil is good. Not hard or soft, but good. Masculine men who are hard men, but who are also good men. Feminine women who pursue femininity in the biblical sense as a virtue that are also good women.